Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever noticed how a single moment of conflict with your child can feel like a storm brewing on the horizon? Those flashes of disrespect or defiance test your patience and leave you wondering where you went wrong. Well, let me ask you something. What if the real challenge isn't just the behavior itself, but the deeper issues hiding beneath the surface? The truth is that addressing those root problems, rather than just the symptoms, can transform your relationship. It builds a bond rooted in trust, respect, and love. One where both you and your child feel truly heard and valued. Make no mistake, this is the foundation that carries you through the wild ride of parenting, strengthening your connection in ways that echo far beyond the chaos of childhood. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. If you haven't already subscribed, I strongly recommend that you hit that subscribe button and activate the notification bell. Trust me, you do not want to miss any of the valuable content I'm creating just for you. Your support truly means everything to me, and I'm so grateful to have you here. It's your engagement that keeps this community alive and thriving, and together we're building something powerful. If you found value in this video, please do me a favor. Like it and share it with your friends and family. Every like and every share helps me reach more people who might benefit from these lessons, and together we can make a real difference in the lives of those around us. If the topic of today's video resonates with you, please leave a comment with a 1 below. But if it doesn't, I encourage you to leave a 0 and let me know what you'd like to see more of, what I can improve, what would speak more to you. Your feedback isn't just appreciated, it's crucial in helping me grow and serve you better. Now let's get started. Step 1. Keep your emotions in check. This is perhaps the most powerful step in dealing with challenging moments with your children. It's about learning to take control of your emotions when everything inside you is screaming to react. You know those times when your children are ignoring you, being disrespectful, or even lashing out in anger? Oh, it's so tempting to let that anger bubble over. You've poured your heart into raising them and spent countless hours and sleepless nights giving them your love, your time, and your care. So when they show you disrespect, it can feel like a personal attack. It cuts deep, and your initial instinct is to fight back, to defend yourself against the hurt. But here's where the challenge lies. Reacting at that moment fueled by anger may feel good at first, but in the long run, it does more harm than good. I know it sounds like the opposite of what you want to hear, but hear me out. Losing your temper in frustration may feel justified, but it's almost always a quick fix with long-lasting consequences. Instead, try this. Pause, breathe deeply, just take a moment. I promise you, in that moment of stillness, you'll realize something powerful. Your calm isn't just a reaction, it's a superpower. When you can stay composed even in the face of their hurtful words, you are doing so much more than avoiding conflict. You're sending them a message of strength. You're showing them wisdom and grace under pressure. Kids, no matter how old they are, they're watching. They may not say it, but they notice how you handle yourself when emotions run high. And though they might not be able to process it in the heat of the moment, deep down, they're learning from you. They're seeing how you manage difficult moments with maturity. They're learning that strength doesn't always mean reacting. Sometimes it means staying calm and collected. You're teaching them, without saying a word, how to approach life's ups and downs with self-control and resilience. I can't tell you how many times I've said something in anger that I regretted later. Words that wounded me far deeper than I ever intended. And those words, they linger. They leave emotional scars that take much longer to heal than any physical injury. It's painful to think about how many times a parent's frustration can fracture a relationship, sometimes permanently. We don't want to create wounds that will haunt us, right? We want to protect that precious bond with our children no matter how tough things get. That doesn't mean bottling up your feelings, by the way. I'm not suggesting you act like everything is okay when it's not. What I mean is channeling those emotions constructively. It's about finding a way to respond that shows your children that you are in control, that you're not ruled by frustration or anger, but by your love for them. You're showing them that no matter how high the emotional tide rises, you can remain grounded. When you can do that, you are teaching them something truly priceless, that life's challenges can be met with grace, poise, and resilience. You are setting an example that will stick with them throughout their lives. Think about the ripple effect that this can have on them. Imagine the comfort they'll feel knowing that no matter what storm is brewing inside of them, they can always come to you for a calm, steady, and unwavering presence. Your ability to remain composed will inspire them to respond to conflict in the same way. Calm, collected, and measured. And isn't that what every parent wants? To create a relationship where your children feel heard, seen, and valued, no matter how stormy things get between you? It's about more than just managing the moment. It's about building that enduring connection, that rock-solid foundation of trust and mutual respect. Step 2. Show understanding without giving in. Now that you've learned how to pause and take control of your emotions, it's time to take a closer look at what's happening beneath the surface. You see, when conflict arises, it's easy to react with criticism or to lean on authority. We're parents, after all, and sometimes that's what we think is needed at the moment. But I want you to consider this. Reacting impulsively with authority or criticism often doesn't resolve anything. It can escalate the situation, making things worse, not better. So take a moment to observe, to understand where they're coming from, and then respond with empathy, not condemnation. Instead, take a step back and ask yourself, what is happening here? What emotions, fears, or struggles might be driving your child's behavior in this moment? If you're still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please take a moment to comment a 1 below and let me know you're still here with me. It's your engagement that motivates me to keep bringing you content that truly matters. Children, just like adults, experience a range of complex emotions that can sometimes feel overwhelming. Stress, insecurity, confusion, and frustration can weigh on them, and the worst part is, they often don't have the words or the ability to clearly express what they're feeling. It's a silent struggle. When these feelings remain unspoken, they often spill out in ways that can seem disrespectful or defiant. But I want to challenge you, don't take it at face value. By pausing even for just a moment to reflect on what might be driving your child's behavior, you're giving yourself the chance to understand them on a much deeper level. This doesn't mean you're excusing their actions or brushing off their bad behavior. No, it means you're addressing the underlying root cause, the hidden layers that often fuel their outbursts. And trust me, addressing the root is far more powerful than simply dealing with the surface-level symptoms. Empathy is your greatest tool here, and let me make this clear. Showing empathy does not mean tolerating disrespect. It does not mean abandoning your role as a parent. Empathy means seeing beyond the angry words or the defiant actions and trying to understand the emotions behind them. It means stepping into your child's world, trying to feel what they are feeling, and making the conscious choice to respond with compassion, not criticism. When you do this, you open the door to real, meaningful communication. The atmosphere shifts from one of confrontation to one of safety and trust. Your child, seeing that you're not rushing to judge or punish, but that you are genuinely trying to understand, will be far more likely to open up to you. They'll see you not as an authority figure who is there to reprimand, but as someone who values their feelings and wants to hear their story. Imagine the deep bond that's created in those moments. When a child feels truly seen, heard, and understood, something extraordinary happens. They begin to trust you, not just as their parent, but as their ally. They no longer feel like a problem that needs fixing, but a person whose emotions and experiences are valid and worth acknowledging. This feeling of being validated is crucial for the kind of open, two-way communication that can last a lifetime. When your child knows that they can share their feelings with you without fearing harsh judgment or a quick reprimand, they're far more likely to come to you when things aren't going well in their life. Whether it's trouble with friends, challenges at school, or something deeper, they will feel safe enough to talk to you before the situation escalates into something that feels unmanageable. Let's make this clear, though. Showing understanding is not the same thing as being weak or giving in. Quite the opposite. It takes incredible strength to set aside your frustration, take a deep breath, and try to see the situation from your child's perspective. I can't stress enough how powerful this is. It takes courage to pause in the heat of the moment, to quiet that inner voice that wants to react with authority, and instead respond with patience and empathy. You're not surrendering your authority as a parent by doing this. You're strengthening the relationship you share with your child. When you approach the situation with understanding, you open the door to a deeper connection. And with that connection comes a more honest, productive dialogue where both you and your child can share your feelings and work together to solve the problem. By taking the time to understand what's going on with your child, you can address the deeper issues at play rather than just reacting to the behavior on the surface. For example, your child's disrespect may not just be about a lack of manners. It could be rooted in stress from school, pressure from friends, or feelings of inadequacy. If all you do is react to the surface behavior, you miss the opportunity to help your child navigate those deeper struggles. But when you approach the situation with empathy, curiosity, and an open heart, you give them the chance to process their feelings more healthily. You become a guide for them, helping them make sense of the emotions that can feel overwhelming, and you do it in a way that strengthens your bond rather than breaking it down. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It's also important to remember that when you show empathy and understanding, you're modeling that behavior for your child. You're teaching them that it's okay to have big feelings, but it's equally important to understand those feelings and constructively communicate them. This is a powerful lesson that will carry them through their challenges in life, and it will help them build the emotional intelligence they need to thrive in relationships with others. Now consider the transformation that can happen within your family dynamic. Instead of perpetuating cycles of frustration and conflict, you're creating an environment where understanding, empathy, and clear communication flourish. You're breaking through the walls that can separate parent and child, and in their place, you're building a bridge of connection that will serve you both for years to come. It's not easy, but trust me, it's worth it. When children feel truly understood, something incredible happens. They are far more likely to respect the boundaries you set because they see those boundaries not as mere rules, but as expressions of love, care, and support. They start to recognize that you're not just imposing control, but instead you are guiding them through their emotional struggles, offering a foundation for them to stand on as they navigate the complexities of life. This shift in perspective can transform the entire dynamic of your relationship. They'll understand that when you say no, it's because you want the best for them, not because you're trying to restrict their freedom. And when children feel that their parents are genuinely looking out for them rather than just demanding compliance, respect naturally follows. Ultimately, showing understanding shifts the way we parent. It allows us to operate from a place of wisdom rather than reaction. Instead of jumping to conclusions or punishing based on frustration, understanding gives us the clarity to get to the root cause of the problem. When we take the time to truly see what's beneath the surface, we're fostering a stronger, more respectful relationship with our children, one built on mutual trust and love. It's easy to focus on the symptoms, the outward behavior that seems disrespectful. But if we take a deeper look, we can address the real issues and in doing so, strengthen the bond with our child in ways we could never have imagined. Real problems, not just surface behavior, are where true progress lies. This approach is essential in building a relationship where both you and your child feel heard, respected, and loved. It's the kind of connection that can weather the inevitable storms of parenting and childhood. It is a bond that grows stronger every time you choose empathy and understanding over frustration or punishment. So the next time you find yourself in a moment of conflict with your child, pause before you react. Resist the urge to immediately respond with authority or anger. Instead, take a deep breath, clear your mind, and observe with an open heart. Ask yourself, what is my child truly feeling in this moment? What's going on beneath the behavior? When you approach your child with empathy, you open the door to deeper connection and meaningful growth. Not just for them, but for yourself as well. In those moments of quiet understanding, you'll realize that true parenting happens not when you enforce rules, but when you show love and empathy that are more powerful than anger or authority. Now let's talk about step 3, setting clear boundaries calmly. Setting boundaries is far more than just drawing a line in the sand. It's about communicating those boundaries in a way that is grounded, compassionate, and respectful. Even when emotions run high, the ability to remain calm and composed is crucial. The way we communicate our limits can significantly impact the outcome of the situation. When we respond with calmness, taking a deep breath before we speak, It allows our children to understand the message clearly, without the added stress of tension or raised voices. It's about creating a space for mutual understanding, rather than frustration or rebellion. In my experience, setting boundaries with a loving, calm approach does far more than prevent defiance. It teaches children that actions have consequences, but it does so in a way that is fair and grounded in respect. Harsh tones or threatening language only escalate the situation and can create resentment. But when we assert our boundaries in a way that feels loving and consistent, it sends a powerful message. The boundaries are not there to control, but to protect and guide. At their core, children crave structure and security. They need to know what's expected of them, and clear boundaries provide that. However, balance is key. If the rules are too rigid, they can stifle growth and create rebellion. If they're too loose, children may feel confused and uncertain of what is expected from them. The sweet spot lies in a balanced approach, where the rules are firm but flexible enough to adapt to each child's individual needs and circumstances. This balance is crucial for fostering a sense of security and responsibility. Setting consequences calmly helps children understand that their choices are not being punished arbitrarily, but that every action has a natural consequence. It's not about being harsh. It's about teaching accountability in a way that is both respectful and fair. The lessons learned from setting boundaries and following through with consequences extend far beyond the family dynamic. Life outside of the home is full of choices and consequences, some rewarding, others challenging. By consistently upholding boundaries with love and respect, we are preparing our children for the world beyond the family. Setting clear, calm boundaries is one of the most profound expressions of care and love you can offer. It's about guiding them today so they can stand tall tomorrow, capable, resilient, and emotionally intelligent. And that, my friends, is the legacy we strive to leave behind as parents. Step 4, set the example you want to see. Children are like mirrors. They don't just reflect what we say, they reflect what we do. Every day they are watching us, learning from the way we carry ourselves, the way we speak, and how we interact with others. It's never enough to simply ask for respect or attention. No, the real magic happens when you model those behaviors in your actions. If you want them to respect you, then it starts with respecting them. If you want them to listen to you, you must show them that their words hold weight by listening to them with full attention and care. In those intense moments, when the storm of emotions is swirling around and your patience is hanging by a thread, remember this. Your children are observing how you handle the situation. Every word you speak, every gesture you make, they're taking it all in. Your calmness, your ability to remain composed, and your willingness to approach conflict with patience will become some of the most powerful lessons they will ever learn. This isn't about perfection. No, setting an example is about consistency, about being authentic in how you show up every day. Children need to know that the values you teach them aren't just things you say, they're things you live by, consistently and without exception. This kind of consistency doesn't just help shape their behavior, it builds trust. Over time, they begin to trust not just what you say, but who you are. And as that trust grows, so does their respect for you. They'll know that when you teach them something, it's not a fleeting lesson. It's part of who you are, and it's something they can rely on. Take, for example, respect. If you want them to respect you, treat them with respect, even in the most difficult of moments. If you want them to listen to you, make sure you are there, available, and present when they need to talk. Your behavior, your example will speak louder than any rules or lectures ever could. I've always believed that the most profound teaching doesn't come from lectures or from the list of do's and don'ts we give to our kids. The most powerful lessons come from what we do every single day. It's through daily action, through consistent behavior, that we shape not only how our children act within the family, but also how they'll behave in the wider world. The kindness, patience, and respect we offer them today will lay the foundation for how they interact with the world tomorrow. When they look back on their childhood, it won't just be the things you told them that they'll remember. It will be the way you lived, the example you set for them in the way you treated others, and how you handled challenges with grace and humility. But here's the key. Children don't need to see us being perfect. They need to see us being real. They need to see that even when we stumble or make mistakes, we don't give up, we don't lose heart. Instead, we pick ourselves up and keep moving forward. We remain committed to growth, and they see us striving to be better, even in our imperfections. That's what truly inspires them. By leading with this kind of example, you are offering them a roadmap for life, a guide to navigating their journey with integrity, empathy, and strength. This is the most valuable gift we can give to our children, a blueprint for becoming the best versions of themselves. The example you set today will ripple into their future, affecting the way they relate to others, how they handle their challenges, and how they carry themselves with grace, no matter what life throws at them. This isn't just about setting a good example for the moment. It's about giving them the tools they need to thrive in the future and to meet life's complexities with confidence, compassion, and wisdom. Step 5, create moments of connection outside of conflict. It's so easy to get caught up in addressing disrespect or poor behavior when tensions rise. But I want you to remember something very important. While correcting behavior is essential, it's equally important, if not more so, to create moments of connection that have nothing to do with conflict. True respect and love don't come from constant correction. They come from a deep, abiding connection that's built on trust and mutual understanding. That's why it's essential to make space for those moments where conflict is nowhere in sight, where the only goal is simply to bond, to connect, to enjoy each other's company. These moments are priceless because they strengthen the emotional ties that form the foundation of your relationship. It's in the quiet moments, the times when you're not worried about discipline or misunderstandings, that your relationship truly thrives. Whether it's sitting down for a family meal, sharing a laugh over a fun activity, or having a heartfelt conversation with no agenda other than to listen and be there for each other, these are the times that build trust and create a safe space for love to grow. Quality time like this doesn't have to be elaborate or filled with grand gestures. What matters is that you're present, fully and completely. When you give your children your full attention, when you show them they matter to you in these moments of peace, it strengthens the emotional connection you share, and when the next conflict arises, you'll have the foundation of that love and trust to fall back on. The respect that springs from these moments of connection is far stronger than the kind that's forced through constant correction. It's the kind that lasts, the kind that weathers the storms and grows even stronger in the face of challenges. Children thrive when they feel truly heard, valued, and appreciated in these peaceful interactions. It's in these moments, when the focus is on connection, not correction, that respect starts to grow naturally and effortlessly. It becomes a byproduct of the love and attention you give them, not something that has to be forced or demanded. And when your children see that you're willing to invest time and energy into them outside of moments of conflict, it sends a powerful message. You love them not just when things go wrong, but all the time. You love them for who they are, not just for how they behave in challenging moments. This constant affirmation creates a deep sense of security and trust, which makes navigating difficulties so much smoother and more manageable. In my experience, the stronger the bond, the fewer conflicts there are. And when conflicts do arise, they tend to be less intense and less disruptive. It's almost as if the foundation you've built with those peaceful moments gives you a soft place to land when things get tough. Sharing simple, pleasant experiences, whether it's a walk in the park, cooking a meal together, or even just sitting down to talk, opens the door for better communication. It shows your children that you value them for who they are, not just for what they do. In those moments, the space is free from judgment, expectations, or the pressure to perform. It's simply a space for love to flow, for connections to deepen. These moments of connection are the true foundation upon which your entire relationship is built. When your children feel truly loved and valued, they are far more likely to respond with respect and consideration, even in difficult times. They learn through these shared experiences that their relationship with you is not one-sided. It's not just about rules and consequences. It's built on love, trust, and a mutual desire to understand one another. And that deep emotional connection, that is the fertile ground where respect grows. It's not about avoiding conflict at all costs. It's about creating a relationship where respect is nurtured naturally because the love and understanding between you runs so deep. When that connection is strong, navigating even the most challenging moments becomes easier. Step 6, give them space to reflect. Once you've calmly addressed the situation and you've set the essential boundaries, one of the most powerful gifts you can give your children is the space to reflect on their behavior. Growth doesn't happen overnight, and neither does respect. Sometimes the most profound shifts take time to surface. By allowing your children the freedom to process things at their own pace, without the pressure to immediately change or admit fault, you're fostering a deeper kind of growth. You're giving them the space to internalize the lessons you've shared in a meaningful way. It's tempting, of course, to want an immediate response, to want to see that instant change, the aha moment when everything clicks. But rushing that process can often lead to resistance, frustration, and a sense of being misunderstood. In my journey as a parent, I've learned that real growth, real transformation happens when we step back and allow the time for self-awareness to develop. It's not about pushing them into understanding, but about giving them the space to come to those realizations themselves. When you give your children that space, you're not just teaching them about respect, you're teaching them about responsibility and self-reflection. Over time, they'll come to understand the importance of respect on their terms. And let me tell you, that kind of internal understanding is far more powerful than simply enforcing respect through rules and consequences. Maturity takes time. It takes patience. Every child will move through this process at their own pace, and that's okay. The key is to be there for them, to guide them, but to also allow them the freedom to grow in their own time. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. But here's the thing, trying to force change or demanding an admission of fault too quickly can backfire. It often creates resistance where you want understanding. You want to cultivate their ability to reflect, to learn, and to grow into more respectful, self-awareness individuals. And when you give them the time they need, you're creating an environment that supports that kind of personal development. It's a slower process, but it leads to lasting change, changes that are far more profound and long-lasting than any reprimand could ever achieve. This approach encourages your children to take responsibility for their actions in a healthy, self-awareness way, helping them grow into mature, empathetic individuals. Now that you've walked through these 6 steps, keeping your emotions in check, showing understanding, setting clear boundaries calmly, modeling the behavior you want to see, creating moments of connection, and giving your children space to reflect, I want to leave you with one final piece of advice. Let go of the small battles. Not every situation calls for a reaction, a lesson, or a confrontation. Sometimes the best thing you can do as a parent is to step back and let the little things slide. Every challenge doesn't need to be a teaching opportunity. Save your energy for the bigger moments, the ones that truly matter. In doing so, you allow your children to feel more secure, and you free yourself from unnecessary stress, creating a peaceful environment where true growth can happen. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do as a parent is to simply allow small provocations to pass without escalating them into full-blown conflicts. This doesn't mean ignoring the underlying problems or letting important issues slide under the rug. Not at all. What it means is recognizing when something is truly worth addressing and when it's simply a moment where your child can grow on their own. Life is full of little provocations, those moments when you're tempted to react, to call attention to a minor disrespect or irritation. But here's the secret: not every moment needs your intervention. Sometimes the most loving and wise response is to choose your battles and to let the small things go. By choosing when to intervene and when to let go, you're teaching your children an incredibly valuable lesson, that not everything in life has to turn into a confrontation. The ability to let go of minor issues without making them a big deal is an essential skill for them to learn. It shows them that some things simply don't deserve the energy of a conflict. And sometimes the most powerful way to teach respect and patience is by stepping back and letting them handle things on their own. This doesn't mean being passive or disengaged. It means being wise about when to stand your ground and when to create space for growth. Another incredibly valuable parenting strategy is to involve your children in family decisions. This is something that can truly make them feel like they're valuable, respected members of the family, giving them a voice in the decisions that affect them, whether it's choosing a family activity, making choices about house rules, or planning a vacation, helps foster a deeper sense of responsibility. When children are included in decision-making, they begin to understand the weight of their choices and the importance of working together as a family unit. This practice not only teaches them respect for the process of decision-making, but also nurtures their problem-solving skills. It's in these moments of inclusion that they truly begin to see the value of respect, as well as the importance of working together with others to achieve shared goals. But just as important as involving them in decisions is recognizing and celebrating their progress, no matter how small it may seem. As parents, we often focus on correcting negative behaviors or trying to mold our children into who we want them to become. But there's immense power in noticing and celebrating the smallest of positive efforts. Acknowledging their growth, even when it feels insignificant, sends them the message that you see their effort, you recognize their progress, and you are proud of them. The simple statement, "I noticed how you handled that situation calmly," can have an incredibly profound effect. It reinforces the behaviors you want to see more of and gives them the emotional boost to continue their growth. Positive reinforcement isn't just about rewarding good behavior. It's about building their confidence, encouraging them to keep striving for better, and helping them see that their growth matters to you. And don't forget, as parents, it's not just about teaching your children, it's about modeling the behaviors you want to see. This includes admitting your own mistakes. If you've overreacted in the past or if you've handled a situation poorly, don't be afraid to apologize. This might feel humbling or even difficult, but it's one of the most powerful lessons you can offer. By admitting your mistakes, you show your children that no one is perfect, not even you. You show them that growth is a lifelong journey and that making mistakes is part of that journey. It's not a weakness to admit when we're wrong, it's a strength. You're modeling humility, showing them that growth doesn't stop at any age, and teaching them that mistakes are simply opportunities to learn, improve, and become better. Finally, always maintain a long-term perspective. The reality of parenting is that family relationships, like all meaningful connections, evolve. Change takes time, and real transformation doesn't happen overnight. There may be moments when it feels like progress is slow, when you don't see immediate results from your efforts, but I promise you that a very small step toward greater respect, understanding, and calm is a step in the right direction. Every moment of patience, every moment of connection is building a stronger foundation for your family's bond. It's important to remember that the benefits of your efforts will come over time, but they will come, so don't get discouraged if the change isn't immediate. Keep showing up with love, consistency, and patience, knowing that each step you take is leading to a deeper, more harmonious relationship with your children. The result of all these efforts is nothing short of transformative. As you incorporate these practices into your daily life, you'll find that your family bond grows stronger, more resilient, and more loving. You will create a home environment that is rooted in mutual respect, understanding, and love. These principles will not only help you navigate the challenges of parenting with greater peace, but they will also help you create a lasting foundation for a stronger, more connected family. Every moment of growth, every opportunity for connection is another piece of the puzzle, building a family relationship that will thrive for years to come. As we wrap up today's video, I want to take a moment to ask you, what have you learned so far? Out of everything we've discussed, what resonates with you the most? I'd love to hear from you, so please take a moment to comment below and share one thing you've learned from this video that you're planning to bring into your daily life. Whether it's choosing your battles wisely, showing empathy, or giving your children space to reflect, every small step counts, and I'm excited to hear what you're going to practice moving forward. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support means so much and helps us continue to create content that can make a real difference in the way we parent and connect with our loved ones. Thank you for being part of this journey, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.